Hello everyone and welcome back to Collapse, a political simulator. So in the last video we turned around and we managed to kind of get some more support. We worked on different support in the different regions of the country, and we also unified the party. However, now we've encountered one major problem. So right after I kind of released the last video, there was an update that was done to the game. A pretty significant update that I would say also. Basically there was some restructuring of how some of the ministries work. There are some UI elements that have been added now to try and better clarify and try and give you more information about what's going on. But in the process of doing that, it also got rid of my save. So I'm gonna have to start all over again. So if you're wondering the reason why this is all back to 1992, that's the reason why. So I've set up my character pretty much the way I set it up before, and I'll go over just a little bit of what I've seen so far. One thing that I really like that I turned around and saw is if you go over to the ministries now, if you have the prime minister's office, you'll see this section right here that says north, west, well, west, north, east, and south. So what you can do now is, if you read it, we should use our powers and remove the governor from the post of the region, replacing the acting one from our party. So if you have enough efficiency and you also have enough money, you can turn around and literally get rid of the governor of that region. And I really do appreciate that, because again, that was kind of my biggest gripe, was that you couldn't turn around and do anything with certain, if you don't have control of the area, you can't campaign in the area, you can't do anything. So, you know, it's just kind of, to me, it was kind of bad that you couldn't turn around and you couldn't campaign in those regions, and you just kind of had to basically rely on luck or anything like that in order to get into the areas. Also, if you look over here, you'll notice that the color of each ministry is now pink, as in my socialist colors or whatnot. That's the color of the Socialist Party. So now every single department is actually lit up with the color of the corresponding party that controls it. Since I'm starting off on sandbox mode, of course, everything is under control of the Socialist Party, or whichever party you choose to be. So yeah, I actually really do like that. Now, I'm not sure about some of the other updates that's been done, but there's supposedly been updates to the the way you can get money and stuff like that. You can also do a auto-filling the ministry's budget from your party budget. Now, I'm not too sure about that because I've never really had a whole lot of party budget in the first place. But you know, again, it's a nice step. It's a nice step in the right direction. There's also a lot of corruption in these departments. So why is internal affairs so high when it comes to corruption? Jesus Christ. Okay, but I can work on that. So there's study right there. It takes away 30 money, but I can work on that. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, there have been some updates to things. There has been some changes or whatnot. Now, I won't go ahead and go into every single change or whatnot, because again, I'm just now starting this up and I'm just now trying to see everything. And also, I will go ahead and replay everything and try and get back to where I was. There's probably going to be some differences, I'm sure, but I'll try as hard as I can to get back to the position that I was in previously. Also, I almost forgot to, the other thing that I remember hearing or remember seeing is that the law structures also work differently too. Also, as you can see over here, you can see the breakdown of the seats in the assembly. So of course, right now everything is split between 25. But also, from my understanding, is that the bills, they work differently now. So if you remember in some of the previous in some of my previous videos, whenever I would turn around and pass a bill or anything like that, or if I saw something very stupid that the parties would turn around and put out there, if it had something in it that I liked, I would go ahead and pass it, and then I would just undo it the very next video, you know, the very next turn, because that's all you had to turn around and do. To my understanding now, it takes more points in order to turn around and pass a single bill than it does a package bill. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I'm pretty sure I'll run into those incidents coming in here soon or whatever. But yeah, apparently that's the new structure for that. Now, I don't know if there's any new laws, but I do know that the amount of work that is required in order to get a single law is a lot harder now, which means in turn that if I tried to just turn around and package together all these very anti-democratic things like the state structure and the percentage barrier and stuff like that, it's probably going to take a lot more. So I'm gonna have to put in a little bit more work in order to turn around and get those very anti-democratic powers and stuff like that. But anywho, like I said, I won't go ahead and kind of hash over everything. The way I'm going to try and structure this is that I'm going to go ahead and try and get back to where I was in 1993. I may or may not be president at that time, but I'll try and get back to it. Also, I think going forward, because a lot of it is just micromanaging things and stuff like that, I won't actually record all the little micromanaging that I'm doing. I'll just try and focus more on the events and stuff like that happens. Because if that's the case, as you've seen, I've done all of what 5 videos now, and I was still in 1993, so it's only a year that has passed. So, and there's a lot more stuff that's going on in this game than just, you know, just that. So, and it goes all the way to 2004. So it would take a lot of videos to turn around and actually get to 2004 if I'm going to actually, you know, last that long. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and skip to the next. Well, I'm trying to skip back to where I was before. I'll cover the election results because I think that's also different too. But yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. All right, so we've now got to the first election, the one right after the Republic has been formed, and I actually managed to win it. I turned around and I managed to remove the governor in the north, and I went ahead and poured a lot of money into that area, and it gave me just enough support to turn around and pretty much win the rest of it. And I also won 3 other regions. I've won the north, I've won the east, and I've won the south over here. So by a pretty confident margin. However, as far as parliament breakdown goes, I only have 27% of the vote. So I'm going to have to work on that still. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes forward. I didn't actually think about it until literally just about a day or two ago as far as the in-game time goes, that like I actually might end up winning the presidency this time around. So yeah, it's going to be a little difficult because I've actually never been in a case where I've been the president and then I turned around and actually won power. I'm used to actually just having power, just winning one of the regions and then turning around and try and gain the power. It seems to be easier to work that way, but this will be a little different, but I can still work on it. So we'll see how things go. Let's go ahead and go forward and see if there's anything different as far as the ministry screen goes. It's pretty much the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Oof. Interesting. I have 338. I'm always about having the Ministry of Defense. That just seems to be one of the best places to turn around and get. However, now the prime ministership is actually pretty powerful now that I can turn around and remove governors from their post. So, that's going to be interesting. I'm still going to get the Defense Department right off the bat because, again, that's just, there's so much money there that you just can't overlook that. So, go ahead and get that. Okay, the communists might turn around and screw me over. Next turn. Shit, they can get the prime minister's seat. And they got it. So yeah. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I would have liked to turn around and get both, but I'm pretty sure somebody else would have got the Ministry of Defense, and I really need the Ministry of Defense for money purposes. So, I'll turn around and deal with them sooner or later. So I guess I'll go ahead and get internal affairs then. And I think that actually might be all I'll turn around and get. I don't know if I really want anything else. See how this is going to shake out. They got the Ministry of Education also. So they have 2 very powerful departments right off the bat. So I'm going to have to work with them a lot more. I could get the Ministry of Economics. I am used to kind of having 3 departments, so I guess I will go ahead and get the Ministry of Economics. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So I have 918. That's actually not a lot. Oof. It's not a lot at all. And you can see how it's actually affected everybody because the Prime Minister's office doesn't have anywhere near as much budget as they should have. And of course, I have these 3 departments, and that's not a lot there. I won't put too much funding into the Ministry of Defense right off the bat because again, they have a lot as far as money goes, so I don't have to worry about them for real. I will go ahead and completely fund the Ministry of Economics and Internal Affairs. Because I think I've had the most trouble trying to really fund both of them because I don't know how much money. I don't know if they can really generate money on their own. I'll go ahead and put the rest of this into the Ministry of Defense. It's gonna make me look pretty bad as far as the newspapers go, but again, the Ministry of Defense generates a lot of money on its own. So it seems like they've cut down on how much money really kind of goes into each department. And it seems to be that they focus more on you taking the money out of your own budget and putting it into these departments. So, ooh, look at this. The Business Council barely has anything. The Constitution Commission doesn't have any money at all. So that's going to be interesting. So I don't know. I know you get a negative modifier if the department goes into the negative, but I'm not sure who that affects. I'm not sure whether that affects me because I'm the president or whether that affects the party because they're in control of it. So this is going to be kind of interesting. All right. So, of course, I'm pretty sure some of these, I think there have been more dialogue options added to this as well. So let me see what we have here. The Prime Minister's administration. It's still too early to judge the efficiency of the Prime Minister's administration, but it is already realized that the people surrounding the Prime Minister are dilettantes, recruited almost from the street. You should not expect breakthrough decisions from them. Maintaining the status quo will already be a significant result. Let me see. On the anti-corruption, yeah, they're happy with that. Let's see. Foreign Ministry, they're moving in the right direction. So they're happy with that. I'm pretty sure the military is not going to be happy with me. I wish you health, comrade readers. Everything's going well in the army. The soldiers eat 3 times a day with the finest gruel. If I were a soldier, I would be happy with my position. But these zealous demands that they be served more meat. No discipline in the army. In general, the army is on guard for the interests of the republic, but we have interest for a couple dozen tanks, several planes, and 1 destroyer, which somehow got into the lake. Okay, so yeah, not the best there. And the economic ministry, yeah, they're happy with that. So, yeah, they're fine with that. So, and the rest are just completely underfunded. Jesus Christ. So, yeah. All right, so let's see what we can do with these ministries right off the bat. So I am a little worried about the fact that the communists have the prime ministership. I guess on the other hand, though, they don't have a whole lot of money to turn around and do a lot of stuff. So maybe I won't have to worry about that. So, oh wait, why is it still saying that I can turn around? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. I was about to say, like, I could wait. I could still do stuff. Like, hold on a second. Okay. But then again, I wonder if that means they'll use their power in order to turn around and kick me out of areas. That would be a shit show and a half. So, but then again, if they did that, it would pretty much wipe out their budget. There's not enough operability. They can only do 1. So they could, hopefully they won't target me. I hope. But, you know, we'll see how things go. Let's see. Ministry of Defense. Again, I already did this. I started off right off the bat being able to do this because I was able to do the sudden inspections, which knocked my operability all the way up, and it kind of cost me some money, but it was worth it because I got all these in the end. So I'm just going to sit on that, let that go ahead and build up. Corruption is fairly low. I'll let the money just kind of pile up for that. Ministry of Internal Affairs, on the other hand, don't know if there's a whole lot I can do. Working on the continuous improvement of the qualification of employees who improve not only the state ministry but also all areas related to it. So I'll go ahead and cut that on, and I'll just wait and kind of let that sit for a while. Sudden and unscheduled mass inspections are of course very budgetary, but on the other hand they will hit very hard on corrupt officials who are accustomed to a stable and well-fed life. So the operability will go down -5, and the money will go down by 75, but the corruption will go down. So leave that alone for right now because I don't have a lot of money and I already don't have enough operability. So let's see, it's gonna be okay. That's gonna be going up plus 0.5. Yeah, I'm really gonna need to work on that. So I think I'm gonna have to take a lot of the money I get from the Ministry of Defense and kind of start pouring it into the other ministry, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, excuse me, and the Ministry of Economics. Let's see, what can we do here? Operability is ridiculously low. Corruption is ridiculously high. Wonderful. Really shouldn't have picked this department. Let's see, is there anything I can do as far as corruption perhaps at some point? Licenses, Eh, it's not a whole lot I can do here. Plenty of things that give me more corruption, but not anything to really deal with corruption. So I guess I'm just gonna have to leave these two on for right now. And yeah, I'm just gonna have to leave that right there for right now. So I think that's pretty much all I can do for right now. I won't be spending as much time, I think, this time around actually putting money into the different regions like I normally do. So, and that's just the leader of the party. But yeah, I don't think I'll be spending a lot of time, really throwing a lot of money into these different regions like I used to. I might do it a little bit, but if I do it, I'm probably just going to turn around and just get it to a point to where I have about half of the support, as opposed to just trying to completely wipe out the support. It's probably going to take me a lot longer this time also to really kind of solidify a strong majority lead. So I have to do things a little bit slower, but it still can be done. So anywho, I'm going to go ahead and get back to skipping and try and get back to 1993. All right, everybody, I am back. I am now back in 1993. I'm at pretty much the end of 1993. It's almost 1994 now. A lot hasn't happened. The only strange thing that has really happened is the Ministry of Defense, my lovely department that I love so much, and I usually is always my go-to for stealing money. So for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on, but I haven't been able to really generate any money in the Ministry of Defense. Typically, I would turn around and cut all these on, and as you can see, it gets a lot of money. But for whatever reason, it's not generating any sort of money at all right now. And it would make sense if I had some of these other things cut on, because it would take away so much, like this, for instance, like state orders. I don't have this cut on, but that would be minus 60. There's some of these other ones also. There's like minus 10 and things like that. But yeah, I don't have any of those cut on, and I can't generate any money through this. So it's actually been losing money a lot more now. So the budget that you see here is purely what I put into the department and nothing else. There was actually one part, for whatever reason, the budget actually got to negative 610. I have no idea why that happened. And this was actually when I was putting money into it, but it got to negative 610. I cut off the automatic thing and I just said, fuck it. I was just going to let the thing just drain. I don't even care. I'll take whatever negative stats it gets. And I just went ahead and kind of focused on other departments. And then mysteriously, a month or two later, it shot back up to 400. I have no idea why that happened. So yeah, it hasn't been generating any money for me. It hasn't been doing absolutely anything. But yeah, that's just the state of that department. I don't know if it has something to do with the economy. I tried doing the military store thing. I tried doing the tanks thing. Done nothing. It done fuck all. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe that's a bug or something. I'm not sure. Which is to be expected when you do these updates or whatever, that bugs will turn around and happen. So the Ministry of Economy, it hasn't done anything. It's just really been useless to me, honestly. It's been a area where I can get money from in certain cases, but even then with the money, I haven't really needed the money, because for whatever reason, due to certain laws that I've passed and due to certain events that I've had, as you can see, I have a pretty high support among the population. I haven't actually done any charities or anything like that since I've turned around and skipped ahead, or I've just been playing regularly. I haven't done any talk shows or anything like that. This is just purely from the different decisions that I've made. So it seemed like the decisions have a lot bigger of an impact, and the laws you've passed also have a lot bigger of an impact. Also, I think I actually did manage to complete my campaign promise of I think I focused on the welfare in the country. So yeah, as you can see, improving the welfare of the lower class. The current state is 786, and I needed 664. So I've already completed my campaign promise. But yeah, I don't know. I don't honestly know why the Ministry of Defense is going through certain things, and oh, great. So I don't even have the Ministry of Transport or the Ministry of Culture, but yeah, that's a problem now for me. So there's that. But yeah, I haven't had anything to do with the issue of the military and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on with that, but it is what it is. But so far, I've been able to get a lot of support, even in the regions that I don't control. Also, surprisingly enough, the Communist Party hasn't done anything. with the prime ministership, which I am perfectly fine with. If they don't want to do anything with it, that's fine. I think what I might actually do the next time around, if I still manage to maintain power, is I think I'll go ahead and I will let somebody else have the Ministry of Defense, because again, it's not benefiting me right now. And I've already done everything as far as reforming the military, getting the tanks, the military store, and things like that. What I'm trying to do, and what I'm really trying to focus on right now, is I'm trying to fix the Ministry of Internal Affairs. I'm trying to focus on reform, but in order to do that, I need to turn around and get, I need to the reformers have to be stronger than the statesmen by 10. And I've poured a lot of money into doing this so far, and right now it's not really even. So, and it's kind of been a headache because I pour money into it, and then as soon as I pour money into it, if I don't do anything with it for a month, and it just shoots right back down. And money seems to be a hard thing to come by, and I think it's mainly because I've been actually having these departments auto funded. So I don't know if that's the reason why. Maybe it is. I think I'll go ahead and turn this off now, because let me go ahead and turn this off, because again, this isn't doing anything for me. Ministry of Internal Affairs, I'll fund it. The Ministry of Defense, I'll continue to fund it as much as I possibly can, to just try and keep it around this 400 mark. I don't want it to get ridiculously low, but I'll try and keep it around there. So hopefully maybe that will turn around and help me out a little bit, but it's not really looking too good right now. So we put on revisions too. That'll give me +5. Hopefully it'll kick in. Maybe it just happened because I turned around and did all this stuff in the very beginning of the game. Maybe I should have waited and turned around and did it after the first election or something. So like I said, it might be a bug, not sure. Also, if you come over here to the factions slot where the research is, I've done all the research because I have so much in administrative resources that I don't really have anything else to spend it on outside of just going ahead and trying to get, you know, all the technology and stuff like that. And I had a pretty good relationship with the United States. As you can see, that's fallen. But yeah, I had a pretty good relationship with the United States. So I just went ahead and just plowed through all this in like a year. So, and that also allowed me to turn around and get the Ministry of Public Relations. So if you turn around and you come over to the faction section and do research, I believe it's social tech. If you turn around and do social tech, you can use, they'll give you basically an option to pick one of the departments, and you can take it from whoever has it at the time. So, and I think it's just the smaller departments. It's not one of the bigger ones like the Ministry of Internal Affairs or anything like that. But you can turn around and get some of the smaller departments like the Constitutional Commission and things like that. So I went ahead and used that to turn around and get the Foreign Affairs office. And I think that's pretty much been it. Like I said, there haven't been really any major changes. Of course, since I'm the president, and of course, since I have the Ministry of Defense, I've been able to use the military for certain events. But other than that, there hasn't been anything else really going on for real. So I'll go ahead and skip forward because I don't think there's really a whole lot more I could do this month. I guess I could pour some money into the different regions. Then again, I probably should kind of focus on diplomacy since this is kind of going to shit right now. Don't know why. I guess it's because I'm in both of these organizations. Let me see. I could fix that, but if I fix that, I'm gonna have to piss off Russia. Always a problem. I guess I could also turn around and take that money and try and put it into the party. The party, I haven't really been able to do a whole lot with the party because I just don't have the money and I don't have the resources. I have plenty of administrative resources. I just don't have the money to really do the things I would like to do. And I don't know if there's any way to kind of naturally kind of get the wing of the party to grow. And also on that note too, the party unity has actually been really good. So I don't really have a reason to kind of unify the party. It hasn't been an issue. So yeah, I don't really have any major things going on as far as that goes. There hasn't really been any rallies, and there haven't been any rallies against me. So that's always been, that's good. That's great. But yeah, it's actually just been a pretty easy game so far. I mean, I haven't been able to get the money that I like to normally get, and I haven't been able to kind of you know, really pour money into different regions. It's more so just me actually doing the work. But so far, it's just been pretty stellar. I haven't really had any major things going on. Let me see. What can I do here? Oh, okay. So that just helps out with Russia. Interesting. And I haven't really done anything with the different factions either. I'm pretty sure they've gotten out of hand, but yeah, the Club of Generals is at 35, the Lurid Mafia is at 36. So yeah, those are my big issues right there. And I think I did pour some money into one. Yeah, no, I didn't do anything. So yeah. Well, there's the trade unions. I think I put a little money into that, but I might go ahead and start putting some money into the Lurid Mafia because, I mean, the trade unions are nowhere near as powerful as they were in my previous game. In my previous game, they were like 20, maybe 30 or so, and they were probably the second most powerfulest organization. So that really kind of benefited me, and the Lurid Mafia didn't really get out of control. But since there's so many different departments that are underfunded, it's been kind of a headache because there's a lot of corruption running rampant. And I think just naturally, if corruption runs rampant, then these different organizations tend to turn around, like the Lurid Mafia and the Club of Generals tend to get more power. So I might just go ahead and, yeah, let me just go ahead and, oh, okay, I can use administrative resources. Oh, well, in that case, I'm finna get a lot of support with him. Because I have administrative resources points to just spare. Like, I haven't been able to do anything with them, honestly. And then you start out in the sandbox mode with a pretty hefty amount. So, can they help me with... Oh, we don't have any influence on them. I still have plenty of money, so I can just use some money in order to turn around and put into getting my party support back up. Okay, so our relations is at 33. Let's keep doing the Congress with them. And yeah. So now let me come back to the party. Throw some money in that bank account. Alright, and I'll leave it alone for right now because I think that's gonna kind of I don't generate as much money as I usually do. I know that says 29.3, but at the same time, I'm having to pay for the different departments, so, which is very strange. I don't understand like why you have to pay for the departments. Whatever. You know, you would think it would come out of the state budget as opposed to the party paying for the departments, but you know, I guess it's a balancing thing. I'm not sure. Let's see. What can we do? I actually think we've been steadily growing recruits. Also a thing I don't understand. Oh God, what is this? Look at this dirty bureaucrat. What a well-fed face. And our children are forced to starve. We are the union of unions. We are ordinary workers, so we demand fair treatment. Your rotten politics has led to the collapse of the social system. So only adoption of about social benefits can ease the heavy burden. I don't know what is in that though. Yeah, I don't really know what's in that. I'm just gonna bribe you because yeah, like I said, I don't know what's in that law and I don't want to put it before Parliament and then it gets slammed. So, all right. And yeah, what is my support with them actually? Actions, Union of Trade Unions. It's at 20, so yeah, it's not great. Then again, we never had their support in the first place, so we have our first organization that is on our side now. And we actually have a pretty nice amount of influence in there. I probably need to work on actually increasing that influence. But how much does it take off? Hold on a second. Okay, so it takes off 5 and you get 0.5 for each one. It's not bad. Let's do 40. Okay, and I'll leave that right there because again, my party support is going up. So that's okay. And I can use them later on. So Mafia is engaged in racketeering and protection. Well, at least some order will be restored. What does this mean? I guess that means it helps us out with our budget, perhaps? Not sure. Some mafiosos were so unlucky that they ended up in jail. But what will prevent them from living well and with sophistication? Certainly not us. Sure? Possibly? they have a huge impact on the country right now. However, at least they're on our side. So there's that, I guess. And I could use them to blackmail and attack some of the other organizations as well. So I'll try and keep them in my sphere of influence so they can stay off my ass. Okay, let's advance this a little bit. What is this law? Everyone is against it, so I'm probably going to be against it. And look at this. Unfavorable, hate, and doesn't improve. It takes a very special type of genius to somehow put a bill before this parliament that no one likes. So I'm definitely voting against that. Like, what the hell? The 7 Social Democrats. Jesus. Liberals, I tell you. Okay. Now we're at 5. Let's just go ahead and keep on going forward. It's almost the end of the year. I also like the fact that it seems like there aren't as many events that are popping up like they used to before. It used to be like a spam of events and it just was chaos most of the time. But so far it hasn't been that bad. So let's see the calculations of the results of the parliament. I think we already done this before. The calculation of the results of the parliamentary elections in Russia held in State Duma under the new basic law of the country have ended. The results of the Duma elections shocked Kremlin observers. The Liberal Democratic Party, with its real Russian leader Vladimir Zhirinovsky, was in the lead. The telecast, which took place during the vote count and was conceived as a grandiose demonstration of the Kremlin's victory, ended in embarrassment. Guests invited to celebrate the victory of parties supported by Boris Yeltsin administration left the studio one by one. One of the participants, desperate, threw a remark into the microphone. Russia, you are stupefied. Yeah, I think that one actually came up before. But I think it came up earlier or something like that. I'm not sure. All right, let's go on into 1994. Making some progress. Oh, God. What do you want? Take money. Leave me alone. I mean, they don't even have enough influence to really be making demands of me. So, like, come on now. I mean, again, they can hurt me as far as support in the middle class and I think in the lower class, but really. Recently, NATO countries announced the launch of the Partnership for Peace program to deepen NATO's military cooperation with European states, Russia, and the former Soviet republics of Transcaucasia and Central Asia, which are not members of the organization. Currently, most post-Soviet and post-socialist countries have joined the program. And I think I will go ahead and do the same also. Diplomacy. What would you be under? That's the partnership right there. Defense full budget. Jesus. Oh, the defense budget is a pain in my ass. All right, I'll put some money into it, but Jesus. And the Ministry of Internal Affairs is back to being okay. But I really need to try and keep supporting the reformists, and I just don't have the money to turn around and do it. So, like I said, I don't know why these departments aren't generating money like they normally do, but causing a lot of headaches. So, let me cut these two off for right now. And that should help me a bit. I need to give the reformists more money. What did that do? 48.5. So yeah, it's gonna be a hard balance because I'm gonna have to start actually putting more money into the into the internal affairs budget, since it's just not generating enough on its own. Which is admittedly very annoying. So I just really wish there were more options to generate money. Even if there were like one-time deals or something else, laws that you could turn around and pass, but it's really frustrating sometimes. Okay. Let's go over here. Ministry of Internal Affairs. The Ministry of Defense is not fully funded and actually lost 10. Jesus. And I don't even know what's going on over here. Let's see. Because I'm assuming that if I turn around and actually manage to fund the Ministry of Defense. If it's not completely funded, then I'm still going to be able to, I'm just going to get kicked out of the partnership. So I guess I'll just leave it alone for right now. Jesus. Okay. Right. Let me go ahead and spend all of that on the reformist. That leaves us at 50. Okay. The dance we do. Alright, and as far as diplomacy goes, I'm gonna have to work on this a little bit. Yeah, because I need that partnership in order to turn around and deal with that. I guess we could get a credit from them. Maybe that'll help. I don't understand why the relations with Russians are so high. I guess I could get out of some of these organizations. At the same time, I'm assuming it's helping our state budget, so. I guess I'll leave it alone for right now. Yeah. It's gonna take a second before this gets back down, but I'll leave it alone for right now. Decisions. I'll let this advance another month or so. Okay, the communists and the People's Nationals. That makes me very worried. Okay. What is this law exactly? So you want to go from uniform education standards to ideological selection of teachers. Don't necessarily have a problem with that. Oh, okay, so the Blue Guard put this forward. And the communists and the National Socialists, or the People's Nationals, they put that forward. If I throw my support behind it, that would be 3-4-3 against. What? Okay. So that would be 27, 8, 17. Doesn't look like enough. It might be, though. It might just barely be enough. Yeah, because the Blue Guard is also in this. Okay, so yeah, that would pass. That would pass, no problem. I guess I'll go ahead and go for that. I don't see a problem with that. Sure. And it passed. Okay, cool. All right. Enemy of the working people. Gotta love it. Let's see. I guess I will bribe you as well. The discontent of the upper class reached its climax. The inhabitants of the industrial region, impoverished during the years of reforms, middle-class inhabitants abandoned senseless and fruitless rallies and strikes, switching to direct actions. The rebels began to raid the administrative buildings and headquarters of the SRP, which is ruling in the region. Several people were killed, over 3 dozen were wounded. The militia that arrived in time managed to disperse the rioters, arresting the most active, but the government should take at least some measures to avoid repeating today's events in the future. Party economists of the SRP estimate losses of 15% of the party's budget and 20% of the party's administrative resources. What? Jesus. How in the blue hell did that happen? So I did see also in the update notes that apparently the upper class now has a little bit more bark, or I guess you could say a little bit more bite to their bark now. So apparently, I guess when things get a little too out of control, they'll turn around and do shit like that. That's okay. That's fine. Group of influential members. Oh shit, I wasn't paying attention to party support. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Bribe the disaffected, please. Okay, so they're off my ass for right now. I need to steal some money. Do I have money I can steal? Oh, look at that. Let's take all of that, shall we? Okay, and let's come back over here, throw some money in the bank. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, now that that's under control, they should show that it was. Ministry of Defense is still not doing anything. And Internal Affairs is still at 400. What is the reform support? Okay. Reformists still don't have a lot of support. Throw that money in there. Reformist. Right, and what does that leave things at? 54 to 46. Okay. So I just need a little bit more. You know, I'm tempted to just let this department just go down the shitter. Sure. Let's go ahead and take 2. Come back to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Reform. Oh, okay. Invest. Reform. That leaves it at 4.5. Reform. 55. Okay. So hopefully this will kind of stay like that. And if it stays like that, then I can turn around and reform it once I have the operability back at 75. However, I need to get that operability up. So let me go ahead and cut these on. Let me see. It's -5. Is there anything else that'll get the operability up? It's -25. I don't really have the money to be doing that, so. All right. Okay, so this isn't really like a big major event or anything like that, but in every single game that I've played so far, and I think it just always happens or whatever, one of your relatives or one of your family members, either your son or your daughter, whatever, they will turn around and do something great. And I think it gives you a little boost in your popularity and stuff like that. But I think it's dependent upon which choices you make in the beginning of the game. So in this case, the 12-year-old son of the leader of the SRP, Stephen, managed to solve the most difficult problem for the science magazine. To the question, what is the main question of life, the universe, and all that, Stephen, after carrying out lengthy mathematical calculations, gave an unexpected answer for the world of science: 42. Okay, sure. I'm pretty sure someone can define it to me and tell me what joke that is. The 13-year-old daughter of the leader of the SRP, Nadezhda, organized the largest domestic enterprise in the capital for the production and sale of muffins. Republicans of all ages liked their incredible and unique taste. But after the holidays, the cupcakes disappeared. But Nadezhda promised to resume production for the next vacation. She also stated that she transferred all the proceeds to her beloved mother. Oh, thank you. So yeah, you have a couple events that turn around and happen. Also, this is something that I've ran into in my own spare time. So eventually your friend will turn around and show back up. This is the friend that tried to invite you to whatever organization that you had leanings toward in the past. I'm not going to actually go over the dialogue, but basically he wants to turn around and try and he wants you to pass a bill. And by passing this bill, it will help you somehow. I am not sure, but sure, I'll go ahead and do it. Put it to law. And do I have enough support? Can I bribe any of you, perhaps? Okay, don't have a lot of support here, buddy. Don't have a lot of support. Social Democrats are willing to help, and the Conservatives are willing to help. Can I throw anything else? He wants to change it to invasion of privacy. Okay. Guess I can do that. Sect persecution. Oh, I can't actually add anything to this. Yeah, I can't do anything with that, so it's going to fail. this is one reason why I don't really kind of like doing these type of events, because you can't add anything to the bills and you can't really bribe certain people because certain things just it won't let you do it. So it kind of leaves you in a bit of a pickle sometimes. So this is going to be a fail, and I have no control of that, which is unfortunate. But you know, it is what it is. So, heck, friend, how is that? How could these mediocrities and lazy people not simply accept this idiotic law? Well, nothing. I'll show them again. Everything that doesn't kill us makes us stronger. So, But yeah, I just kind of wish I had more control over certain things like that, because I mean, if it was me, I would have packaged that in something else. So I kind of wish it kind of gave you like a timer or something, and you had a certain amount of time to pass it, and then you would be forced to either put it to a vote or just fail it, you know, something like that. Kind of like how it is on, I believe it's, what is it? Is it Crusader Kings? I think Crusader Kings is like that. And I believe China Miles Legacy is kind of like that too. You can only avoid things for so long until you're just eventually kind of forced to deal with it. Anywho, there hasn't been anything that's really happened. There was a leader in Germany that died, I believe. But other than that, it's been, again, pretty tame so far. So not a whole lot. So I'll go ahead and I'll skip ahead to the next event. All right, so it is September of 1994, and now we've had our first event in a while. The only things, again, that has happened is I think Kim Jong-un, he has died in North Korea. Um, what else? And I think that's been it. Oh, and Lukashenko has been elected in Belarus. I didn't know he's been president for that long, because he's still the president of Belarus. Am I right? I'm pretty sure he's still president of Belarus, because I believe there was this big flap about it last year. But yeah, I didn't realize he's been in power that long. Anywho, let's see what we got here. Back in the summer of 1991, a dual power was observed in Chechnya. The government of the Chechen Ingish ASSR itself and the government of the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria of continued to work there. But in September 1991, after the unsuccessful actions of the State Emergency Committee, the Chechen separatists felt that a favorable moment had come, and Dudayev's armed guards seized the television center, the Supreme Soviet, and the radio house. In fact, there was a coup. Power passed into the hands of the separatists, and on October 27, parliamentary and presidential elections were held in the Republic. All power was concentrated in the hands of Dudayev. The Yeltsin government at the time had neither the strength nor the political will to take any effective measure, and in fact, Chechnya in the period from 1991 to 1994 became practically independent from Russia. It has formed its own authorities, its own state symbols. However, now the Yeltsin administration has decided to establish constitutional order in Chechnya. Russian troops have entered the region. Okay, so now we have to deal with this. So we can either support the invasion, condemn the invasion, send humanitarian aid as part of the Red Cross, send volunteers from the party to fight for Russia, send volunteers from the party to fight for Ichkeria, or just ignore it altogether. So I don't have the best relationship with Russia, as you can see. Then again, I don't have a great relationship with the United States either. However, I think I will condemn the invasion, because even in my in the beginning of the game when I was making my character, I just kind of stayed out of Russian affairs. I didn't want anything to do with Russia. I wanted to distance myself from Russia. So while I won't get into a fight with Russia, I will condemn the invasion. So let's see. Death to terrorists. Any fool understands that there can be no mercy, no negotiation with these separatists who hide behind slogans about the freedom of nations. Their task is to create a camp in the Caucasus for the export of terrorism to other countries. You need to be as hard as possible on these merciless bastards. This is the comment of the leader of the SRP about the recent introduction of Russian troops into Chechnya. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic condemned the entry of Russian troops into Chechnya. Okay. So there's that. Also, again, I don't know why I have a lot of support among the lower and middle class, even more so. I haven't done anything. I've just literally been just on play, just kind of letting time go by. So this has just been a natural turn of events. And again, I have no idea how those natural turn of events happen. Let's see how the reform is doing. Okay, they're still doing pretty good. Let's invest some money into this, however. And let me help them out a little bit. Okay, which will put them at 54.5. Now I'll let this kind of creep back up a little bit. The Ministry of Defense is still a shit show. The Ministry of Economics is doing fine, and I have no idea why. Public Relations Committee, I give two shits about it. So, I guess, yeah, I'll just, whatever. I'm not even gonna raise it. Just, you know, you can do whatever you want. Just whatever you want. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. What do we have here? Oh, I can't do any of these because I don't have any money in the ministry. So, yeah, that's a thing. I could fund it, but I don't think I'm gonna fund it. It just, I need that money in other places. So, yeah, I'll just leave it alone for right now. I guess in a way I could turn around and, well, yeah, I could steal money in these regions. Now that I think about it, I've done nothing with these regions at all. So, huh, didn't think about that. Let's see. I don't actually, yeah, that would hurt my support, so I'm not gonna do that. Steal from the budget. You know what? Sure. That's gonna be what I'm gonna do. I'm going to steal from the budget. I don't know how much that's gonna give me, but oh, okay. That puts me at 39.7. Alright, I guess that will help me out quite a bit. And yeah, maybe that'll help me get the Ministry of Defense's budget back up, because Jesus Christ. I don't really need to steal anything from them right now, so I'll just leave it alone. I think I will go ahead. What can I do for operability? I can do this, but that's minus 30, which is quite a bit. I'll do it, and I'll advance it a month, and I'll see how it goes. Anyway, more skipping. Alright, so now another event has just popped up. This is something that I mentioned once before, about if things get too out of control in certain departments, this is what essentially will happen. So, ineffective politics and corruption in the Ministry of Education have caused another political scandal. A number of deputies opposed opposed the Communist Party of the Republic, which controls the portfolios of this ministry. Now, a commission has been created in the Supreme Council to study the activities of the Communist Party of the Republic. Now, all parties aiming for the place of the CPR in the Ministry of Education. So now, we can choose what to do with it. So, I could bribe the commission and take over it, but they can have it. I don't want it. Somebody can get it. I don't care who. The Commission for the Control of Ministries issued its verdict. The portfolio of the Ministry of Education is put up for auction. The Supreme Council decided to transfer this ministry under control of the SRP. That is, I'm sorry, that is the most bizarre thing to me in the entirety of this game. I don't know any country that does that, and maybe somebody can help me in the comment section. But what the hell? A department up for auction? That is the most capitalistic thing I've ever heard of in my life. So, I mean, that is something that would probably be like the Republican wet dream here in the United States. Like, oh, as much as they hate the education department, let's just auction it off to someone else, you know, to not fund it. But that is just beyond bizarre to me. So I really think there needs to be something where you can change the distribution of the departments. Like, there has to be something where you can turn around and you have state control over these departments. That is just bizarre. And again, maybe somebody can tell me of an instance in the real world where the departments are ran in a way where they're funded by the party that controls it. I don't know, something like that. But that's just really bizarre to me that you can auction departments in a country that was a part of the Soviet Union. That just seems really weird. But anywho, I digress. More skipping. Alright, now I've skipped ahead a little bit, and I can actually reform the Ministry of Internal Affairs. I don't know what this is actually going to do, because I think normally I just form it because I prefer the statesman. But yeah, let's go ahead and reform it and see what happens. For a long time, there have been discussions in society about the need to reorganize the Republican militia according to the Western model. Some believe that such measures will make the Ministry of Internal Affairs more efficient and less corrupt, but Westernization is clearly not to everyone's liking. However, so far, these are all only projects, and it isn't very clear when they will be able to come true. Okay, so now that's starting to be a thing. And again, I don't know what that's gonna do, but it has been done. So yeah, then I'm pretty sure it's gonna pop up later on because I think there was a couple other events that I had that were similar to that where you would go ahead and initiate it and then it would pop up later on. So I'm not sure when it'll pop up, but that's a thing. So we are working on reforming the Ministry of Internal Affairs. So that's a thing. Other than that, again, a whole lot of nothing going on, so more skipping. All right, now that the year is 1995, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing research again. Again, we had maxed out everything before, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and start with nuclear power. I'm pretty sure that'll help us out quite a bit. And since we have a ton of administrative resources, I'm gonna go ahead and do diplomacy. Since we're back in the good graces with the United States, I don't know. Again, I don't know how this happened. But for whatever reason, I got back into the good graces of the United States and Russia for whatever reason. And yeah, everything is cool with them. So I'm getting plus, what is this? Plus 3.88 a month for them and plus 5 for Russia. So sure, fuck it, whatever. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the exchange for them. So let me that should be enough. And come over back to the research tab. All right, we're at 33. Let me see, I can do postmodern as well. Let me see. Yeah, let's do sexual revolution. I wonder if that's gonna open up the Union of Feminists. Okay, that didn't give me any events or anything like that. I'll advance it a day just to make sure. Okay, so yeah, that didn't give me any events or anything, but I'll go ahead and keep just unlocking the research and just unlock everything, since I can turn around and do that. And it doesn't tick off the United States or anything, and it doesn't tick off Russia, so by all means. Okay, come back over here to factions, research. That is good to go. The sexual revolution has happened in this country. Okay, the first nightclub was opened in the capital recently. It would seem that it is a common phenomenon for post-Soviet countries where they begin to emerge during perestroika. But for our young people, such an institution has become outlandish and completely unusual against the background of monotonous former Soviet canteens. Razvrat is the name of the establishment, which has already become a popular destination for all kinds of advanced youth. We asked one of our readers who lives in a house opposite the establishment for her opinion on this matter. The answer was highly controversial. A bunch of drug addicts, drunks, and a brothel. Modern girls have such short skirts that everything shines through from a kilometer away. Shame, shame. No stalling for them. Students and others, not the most chaste ladies, are simply delighted with Razrak. Entrance fees have become grossly overpriced, approaching 5 cinema tickets or 1 theater ticket, and even the prohibitive price does not repel visitors, and the demand only grows day after day. However, the area where the club is located has ceased to be so prosperous. At night, the militia are constantly on duty there, carrying the rowdy youth in batches to the departments. Also, the nightclub has become simply a citadel of illegal prostitution, also a very popular place among Republican politicians, thereby causing shock and sharp rejection among conservative citizens. Very young girls who have come for expensive treats and male attention are ready to completely undress for money, causing a considerable stir among the visitors by the actions. According to some, if you have certain connections, you can buy soft drugs under the guise of cocktails. Recently in society, there has been a crackdown on ardent supporters and haters of the club. Some demand to leave everything as it is, others to immediately close this hotbed of dissolution. Okay, we can either visit the nightclub, we can criticize the opening of Razrat, we can ignore it, or close this citadel of debauchery. I'm gonna leave it open, and I'm actually gonna visit it, so there you go. The leader of the SRP was spotted at the popular youth club, Razrat, today. At his own expense, she treated visitors to whiskey and other alcoholic beverages, and then completely showed the public her dancing abilities to the rhythmic music. The visitors, mostly young people, applauded the leader of the SRP and took pictures with her. But the most resonant occurred closer to the morning when the politician's husband burst into the nightclub while she was trying to shove a $100 bill into the dancer's underwear. After that, he forcibly pulled her out of the club and put her in a taxi. It seemed that someone had a tough night today. Nevertheless, the yellow press now has more than enough material. Great. So yeah, that happened. My husband is not happy with me. So that's the thing. But anywho, there's that. So again, I'll go ahead and keep pouring money into this research and stuff like that. I did see previously, however, that there can be negative repercussions for something in regards to the budget. I don't know if it's the research, but I know that there's something about if there's too much money, it causes inequality, if I'm not mistaken. So that could turn into a problem at some point. But as of right now, we don't have any issues. I'm doing marketing right now. Let's do scripts for the stock exchange instead. Yeah, I think that'll be better. And let's come over here to diplomacy. Dump all this right here. Let's go ahead and go back to factions, research, and yes, we are done with that. Then we'll do marketing. Okay, is there anything for that? Okay, no, there's nothing for that. All right, let's go back over to diplomacy. Exchange. Oh, that hurts the budget. Ah, I see now. Yeah, because before I think it was just you could turn around and use the administrative resources, but now, okay, that hurts the budget. Okay. So I need to be careful about that. Good thing I just so happened to glance up there and look at that because I never paid that any attention before. Let's see. Factions, research. Get this done. Postmodern. I guess I could turn around and knock this out too. Chairman, modern technologies of manipulation and propaganda in their nature and meaning are hardly very different from the technologies of the past, but even now the internal enemy is usually fueled by foreign propaganda. We can ban hostile media in our country under a variety of pretexts. However, if you still think that democracy can be useful for the republic, then we can simply popularize our party media. Your opinion. Yeah, let's start broadcasting the party TV. So if I had the foreign affairs department, I could do a little bit more, but there's that. All right. The new TV bomb. SRP recently launched its own TV channel, which immediately attracted Republicans with its controversial and extraordinary programming. One of the most popular is a political talk show with debates, unprecedented in the Republic, in which the most eminent politicians of the Republic participate. On weekends, the leader of the Republic herself appears on the channel in his personal program, Republican Weekdays. Is this not a significant progress for the Republican TV? It's like Fox News, but worse. So much worse. But, let's see. Yeah, and I still don't know what this means because I can't do anything with the media over here. So by bribing whoever we need and going through a series of bureaucratic procedures, we will be able to recreate our party media under a new name. Okay. Let's see. And also, for whatever reason, the Ministry of Defense is going down again. So I don't know. I just honestly don't have a clue of why this is going on. I cut these off, so I don't know whether that's just not, there's something shadow going on the inside and it's just like really eating up the defense budget or what. I don't honestly know. But yeah, I cut those off and it just really tanked my budget. But I don't see how that could have happened, honestly, because I have these two things on that's -5. I have this on that's +5. This is +25. I don't know about this. That happened a long time ago though, but I had money in the department, so I don't know what happened with that. But yeah, it's just gone. So I have no idea what happened there, but it's just gone. The defense budget is completely gone. So meanwhile, the Ministry of Economy that I am doing absolutely nothing with has 453. So there's that. And this is fully funded as well. The Ministry of Education. I don't even know how I got that. Apparently, I just got it from some event. I think it was the event before that the communists had. And even though I said I didn't want it, I still got it. So there you go. And the Public Relations Committee, I have that. It's just turned into a shit show. I don't care about it. So yeah, it is what it is. But anywho, I will keep going forward. All right, and now I have the postmodern technology unlocked as well. So long live the new wondrous culture, merciless and senseless. Today, an event took place on the central square of the capital. The likelihood in general, and generally the possibility of this even 10 years ago was difficult to imagine. The famous, in very narrow circles, young artist Shavazel Kabalov publicly nailed his manhood to the paving stone. The militia detachments who arrived in time quickly called an ambulance, and the artist was quickly taken to the hospital, from where he stated that it was a protest against the government and its totalitarian laws, which dictate to us citizens what is good and what is bad. In this regard, we can state that the Republic has finally entered the postmodern era. Is that so? Let's see. Interesting. Support the artist's protests, criticize the artist, send him to a mental hospital for treatment, issue an innovation award, or change the youth control law. I think before I would just go ahead and support it, I kind of do want to send him to a mental hospital though. He might need it. All in all though, I think I'll go ahead and support it. If he wants to turn around and nail his manhood to someplace, whatever, by all means. Shavazel Kabalov is a brave and talented artist. I believe that in our time, the concepts of art and self-expression are already as identical as possible. Here, one can only envy his courage and determination. Not everyone can commit such a daring act that goes beyond the generally accepted morality. This is worthy of respect. This is how the leader of the Republic commented on the recent situation with the artist Kabalov. Kabalov himself was recently discharged from the hospital. Alright, so there's that. I think I'll go ahead and advance to the end of the year, and then after that I will stop this, because this video is almost 2 hours and 30 minutes long, and I gotta cut all this. So, for a long time, the topic of possible impeachment of the president appeared in various political media. For those who have lagged behind civilization, we repeat, impeachment is a procedure for removing the president from office. Analysts assume that if the president resigns, the acting head of the state will be a candidate from the Communist Party. You son of a... What? Huh. Well, look at that, Communist Party. They had to wait a long time for that. Of course I'm going to vote against it. For a long time, let's see. Today, the parliament discussed the issue of the resignation of the president of the country. The faction voted as follows. The Blue Guard favored, the Conservative Party favored, the Liberal Party opposed, the Social Democratic Party favored, the People's National favored, god dang it, and the Communist Party... Oh, what? But you put it out there. Huh. Wait, they were the ones that put it out there, right? Okay, the Supreme Soviet elected a member of the People's National Party as acting president. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Wow. A coup if there ever was one. Huh. Good afternoon. I inform you of the latest days. Yakov Ivanov, a veteran of the First and Second World War, as well as the Civil War, a member of the RSDLPB since 1917, wished to enter the SRP. Drafted into the army in 1916 after the February Revolution, he ended up in the Petrograd garrison where he joined the party, after which he was sent to the Republic Consistently following the line of the Bolsheviks in our country, he, despite his very young age, made a rapid career. From commissar post in the Red Army, he reached the post of head of the political administration of Republican Army and became a member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Republic. Then he was honored to become a delegate to the Congress of Soviets, who elected him as a member of the delegation authorized to sign an agreement on the formation of the USSR from the Republic. His signature is one of the last on this important historical document. However, supporting the Trotskyist opposition in the 1920s, Doktorov was expelled from the party, spent many years in prison, rehabilitated, but was not reinstated in the party. Despite participating in the Second World War marked by the Order of the Red Banner, nowadays he is practically forgotten, being not only one of the last living veterans of the three wars, but also the only now living major opposition figure in the RCP who personally saw Trotsky and Lenin. Only in recent years has it occasionally received media attention. Now approaching his centenary, he asked to be accepted into the party, considering you to be the real fighters for the bright future of mankind, for which he also fought in his youth. Oh, sure, why not? In a festive atmosphere, the leader of the SRP party handed Comrade Doktorov a party card. Justice was restored, and the hero of the revolution joined the party, worthy of the heiress to the glorious tradition of those years. At the same time, not all party members approved this decision without sharing his anti-party orientation in the past. Many Republican newspapers wrote about his entry into the party, which is why many people learned about you and him. Okay? Today, the leader of the Republic refused to pay the United States the amount of $74 from the Prime Minister's administration to participate in the program to support democracy around the world. Western powers expressed their dissatisfaction with this unfriendly action by the Republican authorities, and some analysts interpret this event as an act of independent foreign policy. Why would you do that, sir? Why would you do that? Like, we're clearly on the path to having a really good economy. We already have a really good economy. Everything is going well so far. We've balanced everything between the United States and Russia. And now the Communist Party want to jump in there and be dicks. Oh my God. I am going to. Oh, that pisses me off. That really. Oof. But I do like the fact that, like, the different parties can use their powers. Ooh, just look at that. You have no support. They have no support. This was a coup if it ever was one. And I'm going to call for an early election too and just fuck them completely over. But, you know, again, this will be things going on in the next video. So, yeah. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there because, again, I'm going to have to cut all this stuff up and it's a lot to go through. So, yeah, in the next video, I am going to have my revenge. I am going to have my revenge after this, basically a coup. That was a straight up coup. Don't even know how that happened, but, you know, it was a coup. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm going to have my revenge and we're going to get the party back. I mean, we're going to get the presidency back. So yeah, bunch of jerks. I mean, absolute bunch of jerks. And if I can, I'm going to see if I can pass a bill to turn around and get rid of them completely as far as the election percentage goes, because we're going to win the election and it's going to be by a huge margin. So I'm going to be able to just run roughshod pretty much all over them. But anywho, if you like the video, like the video. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe. I have plenty of things on my channel and I will have plenty of things in the future. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section. Again, I get these comments straight to my phone, so I will respond to them as promptly as I possibly can. And if I don't respond to it promptly, then either I just didn't feel the need to because it might have just been a general statement or it might be answered somewhere else. So anywho, thank you for watching and I will definitely see you in the next one. See ya.